Hi, it's Karen with Living Our Dream Homestead, where today I'm going to be testing laundry spot cleaners. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please click the button down below. I'm going to be testing some name brand laundry stain removers against each other. I've got OxiClean Max Force, I've got Shout Advanced, I've got Miss Mouse Messy Eater Stain Treater. This is supposed to be a good one. I'm testing Tide to Go, the pen. I'm testing my own laundry detergent is supposed to be able to get out a stain on your clothing. So I am using Arm & Hammer today. And I also have some homemade cleaners here as well. And what instrument should we be using to get our stain out of our clothes or out of our dish towels, sheets, etc.? Should I be using a rag? This is just an old washcloth, to rub in the stain. Should I be using like a brush? This is just a toothbrush. Or you could use like a bigger brush if you have a bigger stain. Or should we be just using a cotton ball just to blot the stain? I will be testing all these cleaners against each other on a scale of 1 being poor and 5 being the best. Well, let's go ahead and get started and get to my stains. First one we have is OxiClean Max Force. It is $4.49, and I actually did purchase it at Kroger for 12 ounces. I've got Shout Advanced for $3.49, and I did purchase it at Meijer for 8.7 ounces. And this one is Miss Mouse Messy Eater Stain Treater. I dare you to say that 3 times real fast. I'm having trouble myself. Now, my daughter recommended this stain treater because she does have a child. And it's not just for kids' messy, stains. It is also for adults. And yes, I paid $9.99 on Amazon, but she swears by it. She says that it will get out a set-in stain. Well, we are going to go ahead and put it through the test to see if that is really true. I went ahead and got the Tide to Go pen. I did purchase it at Meijer. And yes, I only paid $1.44 because it was clearance. I'm hoping they're not getting rid of it because, say, they didn't think it was no longer working. I'm hoping maybe they were just, trying to get something new, better, or, they're changing the design of the package. But retail, it is $3.59. And then my laundry detergent, Arm & Hammer, 50 ounces at my Kroger is $5.99. Now, again, you could be using any detergent to pre-treat your stain, but I'm using Arm & Hammer today. And I also have 1 lemon, and it only costs 75 cents at Meijer. And then over here, this is some homemade stain cleaner that I have in here. It's 1 teaspoon of dish soap. That's any dish soap that you have. I am using the Meijer dish soap that I have back there. And it is 2 teaspoons of hydrogen peroxide. And there's the peroxide that I have back there. So the dish soap only cost me $2.49 for 24 ounces. And the hydrogen peroxide cost me $1.19 for 32 ounces. And then I also have some rubbing alcohol over here. It's actually the Member's Mark. I'm not sure of the exact price, but I just looked up on Meijer. For this size, it would be about $4.39 for this rubbing alcohol. I also will be showing ladies how we can get out our lipstick stains. Those are some difficult stains there, and hard to get those out. And I'll also be showing how to get out ketchup stains, because you could be in the office, out to eat, etc. with friends, and you just squished ketchup all over your shirt. So I'm going to show you how to get out those stains. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, here's one of my shirts here. Bake the world a better place. I've got, as you can see, I have no clue what that is, but that is definitely a set-in stain, several of them. So I'm going to go ahead and treat this shirt with the Miss Mouse Messy Eater Stain Treater, since my daughter said she swears that it gets out set-in stains. So I'm going to go ahead and spray the garment. And then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to spray all the spots that I have. And I'm going to go ahead and use a toothbrush, and I'm going to go ahead and just kind of brush it into the stain the best I can. Okay. It's hard to do it with holding the camera too, so I'm just going to continue brushing in the stain here. And then I'm supposed to go ahead and launder as normal. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this into the washer, and we're going to see if the stains come out. I'm going to be writing down on a piece of paper each shirt and which cleaner that I use to treat the stain, so we can know, which one has gotten out the stain and etc. So this hopefully should be detailed as possible for you guys. Okay, we're back to the cooking shirt here. And if you remember that stain that we had, it was real big. It's still kind of there. We did use the Miss Mouse Messy Eater Stain Treater. And in all honesty, it still didn't take it out. I mean, you can still see it. It did lighten the stain, which is great. So then it's not so noticeable. So on a scale of 1 to 5, I will give it a 3. I was actually expecting it to take my stain totally gone, since my daughter said that it does, for her, it did take out set-in stains that have already been, laundered, etc. So I don't know specifically, say, what stain it was able to get out, but it definitely was not able to get out this one. And again, I don't know if this is grease or what, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3. Okay, here's another one of my shirts, Panama City Beach, Florida. I've got some stains as well, and I'm not sure exactly what they are. Could be, it could be like a grease stain from, say, cooking, etc. It looks like there's something there. I could see, it's very light. Since it's right underneath the light, I can only see it on the camera. So there's something there, here, and there. Now I'm going to use my go-to cleaner. This is the cleaner that I usually always use, OxiClean Max Force. So I'm going to go ahead and spray that on the stains. Let it go ahead and soak it in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and use probably still the brush right now. If I had more of an oily stain, I probably would use the cotton ball or the washcloth for that one, and we'll probably use that for the lipstick and the ketchup one stains. And I'm just going to go ahead and scrub that in right now. I have that other shirt right now in my washer doing a quick wash, the other one that we're testing, that Miss Mouse Messy Eater. So we're going to see if that's going to get it out. And then this one will be able to let it sit, because most of these stain treaters, some of them say to at least let it sit 10 minutes before laundering. And the one that I have in the washer right now, I did let it sit 10 minutes after I sprayed it. And then I went ahead and I'm washing it right now as well. So I'm going to go ahead and let this one sit here 10 minutes, and we'll go on to the next one cleaner and see if we can get these stains out. All right, we're at the Panama City, Florida beach. If you remember the stain, there was one right here. It has lightened that one up considerably. And then I had some stains down here. You could just barely see it. And again, this was with my go-to cleaner of OxiClean Max Force Stain Spot Remover. I think it did a pretty good job. Yes, it didn't take the stain totally out, but it has lightened it up quite a bit. I'm going to go ahead and give this a 4. Okay, here's the Mama shirt. So I've got several things going on in this shirt. I don't know what that is, and it feels like it's actually on there, like I could scratch it off, but I really can't, because I'm trying to right now and I can't. So it looks like I've got some, I remember what this is. I made homemade tomato sauce, and this is the tomato sauce all, as you can see, all stained all over the shirt. It has been washed, so this technically is clean, but it's, you know, heavily stained. And then I've got something down here. I don't know what this is. Again, it kind of feels rough. It's kind of, I mean, it's, to me, it's not, doesn't look like it's oil or anything. I just don't really know what it is, but it definitely didn't come out. So I'm going to go ahead and treat half the shirt up here with the Shout Advanced right here, the Set and Stain. Every time I use a cleaner, after each one, I'm rinsing the brush so we don't have, you know, say the same cleaner on there as well. So I'm going to go ahead and treat the upper part of the shirt with the Shout, and then down here, just this stain only. I've already, you know, detailed it out on a piece of paper. I'm going to use my Oxy. I'm going to use my Arm & Hammer Sensitive Skin Detergent. And again, I'm going to, after I treat these stains, I'm going to let the garment sit for 10 minutes before I wash each, you know, one. So then that way, the stain remover will be able to set in and hopefully get the stain. So let me go ahead and try to get this Shout one in and show you how it works. Okay, I actually don't need the brush for this one because the Shout one has that built-in brush. So it said to go ahead and kind of squeeze it. Oh, I really did. It did shoot it out pretty well, so I don't just need to squeeze a little bit. And then to use the brush, you know, built in the head. I'm just kind of showing you a little bit. I'll scrub a little bit more because, again, it's harder to do it with one-handed with the camera. And I'm going to go ahead and get that one as well. And then I don't need to squeeze anymore. I just need to go ahead and scrub it in. And again, I'm going to let this garment sit 10 minutes. And I will again treat this one with the Arm & Hammer regular detergent. And again, let it sit for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to go ahead and wash it, and we're going to see if any of these cleaners can get out my stains. Okay, it's the Mama shirt. So I used the Shout Advanced Laundry Spot Cleaner on this shirt, and it's still there. So, I mean, it might have lightened it up a little bit, but it's still there. So I'm going to end up giving this about a 2. To me, it just, you know, I mean, it is a lot less, you know, that we see the stain, but it's still there. So I'm going to rate this one a 2. We'll go on to the next one. Okay, we're still on the same shirt, the Mama shirt. Remember, we had a stain down here at the bottom, and I used just regular Arm & Hammer Sensitive Skin Laundry Detergent, and I brushed it in with a toothbrush, and it looks like to me that has really come out. I do see a very faint one there, but I would definitely give it, it's almost close to a 5 because I really can't see it. It's very not as noticeable, between a 4+, so I'm going to go ahead and say 4+. Not quite a 5 because, again, if it was totally gone, then it would get a 5. So I'll go ahead and put that one down, and we'll go on to the next one. Okay, we have a Washington, D.C. shirt, and like I said, I have no idea what that is. It's weird looking, really. It doesn't look like it's pen, and it looks like I tried to treat it because it honestly looks a little discolored where it might look a little purple there. I'm going to go ahead and use lemon juice. Lemon juice is supposed to lighten a stain, and I'm actually going to be applying it with a rag, and I'm going to just, again, I'm just trying to get the stain a little bit less there. It's supposed to do this on light colored fabrics only, where it is supposed to lighten the stain. And the stain to me looks pretty awful. I mean, whatever it is. I'd like to be able to at least have it a little bit lighter, that maybe I might have a chance of actually getting out the stain. I've had this shirt for a very long time, and I would, you know, it still fits me, and I'd love to be able to wear it. I do wear it around the house, say to cook in, but it'd be great, you know, to be able to wear out you know, to the store, etc. But with that on there, I don't know. It almost looks like it's blackberry or some kind of black, but I'm not sure specifically. But I'm just going to keep on blotting it. And then again, I'm going to let the garment sit for 10 minutes before I wash it. And again, the detergent that I'm using is the Arm & Hammer Sensitive is what I'm using to wash everything in. Okay, remember the Washington DC t-shirt? Again, don't know what that is. Like I said, it looks like a little bit of purple in there. It kind of makes me wonder if it was like some kind of berries, like blackberries, but I'm not really sure. So we treated this again with lemon juice, and it was supposed to lighten up the stain. I'm going to be honest with you, to me, it didn't seem like it lightened it up. It's still there. I don't think it did a good job. I would give it a 1. Well, here's the dish towel. I went ahead and sprayed it already with my homemade cleaner. This is 1 teaspoon of Meyer dish soap and 2 teaspoons of hydrogen peroxide. And I went ahead and already sprayed the stains. As you can see, I got a stain here. Got quite a bit. Don't know what that is. This one's even worse. And up here, that looked like a light colored stain. I figured I'd spray that as well. I'm going to go ahead and use the toothbrush, and I'm going to go ahead and scrub it in and then let the dish towel sit for 10 minutes before we launder it. Okay, you remember the burger dish towel? Well, look, it didn't. That homemade cleaner of dish soap and peroxide didn't work at all. I mean, I put it up here. Looks like it tried to lighten it up a little bit there, but it didn't take that out. Sure didn't take that out or that. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a 1 as poor. It's something that I would not recommend. Okay, I have got a white shirt here, and I've just put some, yes, I put some lipstick down here. You're probably like, oh great, how are we going to get that lipstick stain out? Well, we're going to go ahead and take rubbing alcohol, and I'm going to get it kind of damp and use a cotton ball. And then I'm going to rinse the shirt in cold water and wash as usual. And hopefully it will go ahead and get out this lipstick stain. Okay, I've been pressing with the cotton ball and like dabbing it. It doesn't look like it's I didn't put a real thick amount of lipstick on it, just like a little bit, like as if you just went up and someone, you know, you accidentally touched your shirt and it went on there. We're on that white shirt. There's the lipstick. Didn't even look like it got it out. Again, we used rubbing alcohol here, and it did not do anything to it. To me, it looks exactly the same. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a 1 for that. And then over here for the ketchup stain, all right, I've accidentally spilled some ketchup on my shirt here. That's just actually some water there when I was grabbing a hold of it. So the first thing we need to do in order to treat this ketchup stain, we need to go ahead and remove the excess ketchup from the shirt. Now we could use a knife if we had a knife. I'm just going to use, again, a rag and try to remove the excess as best I can. You know, trying to get it off. It probably would have been better if I used a spoon. You know, say you were, you know, out and about, if you had one available, or, you know, usually you can find a tissue or you have a napkin that you can use that you could go ahead and remove the excess. Now I'm going to be testing the Tide to Go pen, and it does say it works well on ketchup. It just does not work on grease, blood, or ink. So if you got a pen mark, it wouldn't get it out. So I'm going to go ahead and treat it with this, and then I'm going to go ahead and let it sit for about at least 10 minutes. And then I'm going to launder it and see if we can get this ketchup stain out if you were out on the go. Okay, I've got the Tide to Go pen out. It looks like a marker. In order to get the solution out, you have to press it down, and now it is coming out. So I'm going to put it all over the stain here. And then I'm actually going to come through with the toothbrush and try to brush it in to the fibers of the shirt. Again, I know you won't be able to have that maybe when you're out and about. Maybe I'll go ahead and just brush this one little part, and I'll leave the big part where you just use this. Because again, if you're out and about, you could just take this Tide to Go pen with you and immediately put it on your stain. And so then hopefully it wouldn't set the stain in until you could actually get home to launder it as normal. That's interesting. Yeah, right there is where I use the brush. Look at how much of if you had a brush with you. I mean, not many people do. If you have a stain, like they have an extra brush in their purse for getting out the stains. But it definitely really worked up that ketchup stain and almost totally removed it. Now, again, we'll launder this as normally. This is just the Tide to Go pen on there. They might want to go ahead and reinvent this Tide to Go pen and actually have like a built-in brush, besides you dabbing it, that you could actually ground it in, because that's amazing for it to get that stain out like that after me using the toothbrush over it. So let me go ahead and let this sit, and then we'll launder it, and we'll see if any of these stain removers lightened our stain or actually got our stain totally gone. We use the Tide to Go right here pen. And again, remember what I told you? I ended up using the spot down here that was ketchup. I used a toothbrush and scrubbed that in, and that totally, well, it's barely there. So I don't know about you. Tide to Go really needs to invent a pen with a brush, because that would really help with the stain. It did at least fade the stain, but the stain is still there. So that would be, a problem in itself. It is definitely lighter. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3 on that one. Which is the best laundry stain remover? Well, I found out it is Arm & Hammer Sensitive Skin Laundry Detergent, where I used it as a pre-treating the stain. I used this with a brush and scrubbed it in, and it did the best. It ended up lightening up the spot more, that it was barely there. So I gave this one a 4+ in trying to remove a stain. Now, again, I don't know if another laundry detergent would be doing the same thing, but with this laundry detergent, it did an excellent job. And then my other one that I would give a 4 to, which is my go-to, I actually have been using this all the time, OxiClean Max Force. This did an excellent job as well. It did not take the stain totally away, but I gave it a 4 because it really did lighten up the stain. And, overall, it did a decent job. And then I ended up using the Tide to Go pen. Now, by just using the Tide to Go pen, like if you're out and about and you're trying to treat your stain, it did lighten your stain. And then when you go ahead and wash it as normal, it didn't remove the stain. So I ended up giving it a 4 because it just lightened it. But when I cleaned part of the stain with the brush, it actually removed the ketchup stain totally. So I just wanted to let you know, no one is sponsoring this video. I just wanted to go ahead and do this video for me to see which is the best laundry spot remover out there, and of course for you as well. So now you know. But I don't know who makes Tide to Go. If they can change the formula of this pen and have a built-in brush, kind of like the Shout up here has a built-in brush with it that you can carry with you, this would definitely get out the stain. So if you put these two together, I would give it a 5. Actually a 5+. It did an excellent job. So if you like this video today, please hit the like button if you want to see other videos like this as well. Well, this was Karen with Living Our Dream Homestead. I hope you have a good day.